We want to welcome you guys to the AT&T Thanks Sound Studio with 97.1 The Eagle. My name's AO, and this is a really special room to me. I've seen some of the most amazing music I've seen ever in my life in this room. We've had some bands come in here and just absolutely floor us. But that's not all there is to this room, too. It's also a room where there's a great amount of deep interaction between fan and artist, and we want to ask you guys to participate in that too. So if you've got a question for Brian today, that's just fine. We have a maximum, we're on a little bit of a tight time schedule today, so we've got about a maximum of 20 minutes to do all this. So if you guys want to think about what you want to ask, we're going to get started here pretty fast. This weekend at the Dallas International Film Festival, Brian Head Welch is releasing his new documentary, Loud Krazy Love. So please welcome to the AT&T Thanks Sound Studio stage, Brian Head Welch from Korn. Thank you for having me.
Stoked to be here.
Yeah, man.
Thank you
We're
for
really,
having me.
really
Thanks
glad.
for coming, you guys. It's a Friday. I'm sure you got busy lives, and so I appreciate you coming.
Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and set this one down here, DJ, since it's just the two of us.
So who here works here?
I do.
Oh, half the room. Thanks for coming, guys.
We got a couple of grand prize winners right here.
Nice.
We have a lot of
Good
big
to see
fans
you.
in the room. And,
Oh, cool.
And I specifically asked to talk to you today because I've been watching your journey. I remember the first time I heard something off the first Korn record. That was real significant to me. And then from there, it kind of jumps into memories to when you parted ways and did your own thing. And the title of your first book, Save Me From Myself, is something that rings really true with me as far as kind of growing older and learning about no matter what kind of painful, horrible, devastating things can happen in your life, ultimately, the way to heal from them seems to be to turn the thoughts inward and to look within yourself for that. No matter what someone else might have done, no matter what other influences, bad influences, other abuse that might have come from outside, ultimately, the place that the healing has to take place is inside. So when I saw the title of your first book sitting over there, I think DJ's got it over there, wanted to autograph. That was something that was one of the first things that I wanted to hit you up about is just, it seems to me like when you got to that point in Korn where you realized that you had to make a change for the sake of family, for yourself, for your life, it was a matter of wanting to turn the focus inward. Am I pretty much on the right track there?
Exactly. You know, it's the part. What happens is we grow up and we have our friends and we go through our teens and our 20s and we develop this person, of who we want the world to see, and it's a mask, and sometimes sometimes it's genuine, but there's usually a mask, and your identity is like just confused a little bit, and so the ego's mixed in there too, and so that's what happened. It just life didn't make sense to me, I loved the music, I loved the fans, I loved all that, but it didn't make sense to me, and I really wanted to give up on life because I got everything I ever wanted, and I'm depressed, addicted. So yeah, but I got out of it, so that's good.
And you kind of look around at the world and you see people that have tons of money, and then when you grow older and you look and you observe people like that again, you kind of end up feeling sorry for the uber rich because they have to live this isolated life away from everybody else in order to stay away from certain toxic people. And there's all these things that we think when we're younger are going to cure the sadness inside, and then we get older and we realize there's only really one thing that's going to cure it, and that's already in there. Am I right about that?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's there's just a lot that we have to work through because growing up isn't easy, Growing up is not easy, is it?
Oh, my God.
We have all these good and bad memories, and so, yeah. But that, just looking within, and the true person is in there, And so you gotta dig a little sometimes, and, I needed help. I found faith, and that helped me a lot. And so, but, yeah, just I spilled just going into the movie thing, but everything, all of the whole story's there, and it's a crazy movie, man. I'm really pleased with it, and it's really special to me.
And this is your second documentary, isn't it?
Not that I know of.
There was something called Reconciliation I was watching about.
Oh no,
today.
that was like the first teaser trailer or whatever for the first when. Actually, we made that before the film was done. It's the same film.
Okay.
So, and it was the Reconciliation. Oh yeah, okay. That was the Korn. That went with the Korn record.
Oh,
and so
okay.
it was like the paradigm shift documentary Reconciliation. Yeah, and so that was about my coming back to Korn. Yeah.
What about your coming out public as being a man of faith? Like very recently for me, Christianity is something that I've pursued more aggressively, probably like maybe in the last 3 to 5 years of my life since losing my father. And to be in the lifestyle that I'm in and to have the history that I've been and the lifestyle that I'm in and to all of a sudden you've got this circle of people around you that have a certain amount of beliefs about the way the world should work and things that they don't believe in. So was it scary? Can you talk a little bit about the first time that you decided to be brave enough to step up and just let the whole world know that this is where I stand with my faith now and this is why? Was that hard? Scary?
It was, but I was at a time where the mask had to come off, like I was telling you earlier. And so I found what happened was I had an encounter at home, and no church or religion changed me. I had an encounter. I called out for Christ, and I said, if you're real, then show me, because I'm good as dead. Drug addiction, everything. And so what happened was I had something come into my house that I felt like he actually did manifest himself through a way that I'm a feeler. I didn't see him walk into the room. I actually have heard of people that have, but I didn't. That wasn't my experience, but it was a touch from another realm. I called out for it. I got the touch. My whole life changed, and so I was in then. And sometimes the people in Christianity don't know what to do with me because I'm you can't pay. There's judgmental people and all that, but the face of it all is changing because it's all about, it's about Christ wanting a relationship, God through Christ to have a relationship with humanity. That's it, warts and all.
But was that first step a doozy as far as telling everybody who you really were now as opposed to who they thought that you were?
Yeah, because well, it's cool because it was weird though because here I was just on TV every day and rock star and all that, and then I'm like back then, perception. And it was a shock back then because nowadays you have all these guys rockers, like the Megadeth guys and Papa Roach, POD, all these bands. Alice Cooper, he was before Manson. He was shocking people. So he's a man of faith, following Christ. And so, but back when I did it, it was just shock. It was like, I'm out of the band, and this is, and then when people found out about it, I was in Israel, and so I was getting baptized in a white robe, and that was like the #1 downloaded picture on Yahoo that day, and so. Everyone's like, and then I got people making fun of me and all that because it wasn't common. Now it's like in sports, it's in music, and it's more common now. So I'm glad the world is changing, and the face of Christianity is changing too. Just the religious stuff is just melting away.
Yeah, it's complex, and there's so many like subdivisions of it, and it breaks down. And I guess anything that's big, there's always going to be subcategories of it and all that. I think, but what it really boils down to is that I think you've been very neutral and you've been very helpful for people feeling more comfortable about it. And something with that said, I'm wondering if you'd be willing to talk to us a little bit about something that's even more tough to bring up, and that's like any specific physical or medical damage that you want to share with us for anybody in the room or on camera that might be watching that might have an addiction problem and they know that they're toxifying their body, the one and only one that they have. But was there specific health damage that was done to you, be it heart, circulation, anything like that you want to share with us where it can just help hit on an even more real level for anyone out there who might be struggling right now?
Just like effects that I still have
now? Yeah, health damage.
I think just like... and with as far as depression and everything, but mainly everything else. Thank God I came out okay. But I mean, if you ask my brother and friends, they'll tell you I'm definitely ADD, hyperactive, like, and that's probably from the drugs. But I'm playing it cool right now. But I'm usually like, and all over the place. But so that's, I think that's from the speed, you know. But also, yeah, my just memory and stuff is but yeah, I'd just say no to drugs. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, and the depression thing lingers, and I know it's from years of that stuff, you know.
Yeah. How are we doing on time, DJ? Good. How many? We're about halfway? Okay. I know we got some people out there that want to ask you some questions too, but as far as just diving into the documentary, Loud Krazy Love, tell us a little bit about the overview of this, because this weekend is a big, big weekend for this, so we kind of want to know what we're in store for. And by the way, you guys, we have a few pair of passes to attend the Dallas International Film Festival this weekend and see the screening, so
Yeah.
we'll tell you more about that in a minute. But
Come
tell us
down.
about Loud Krazy Love.
Come down. It's only 86 minutes. We're calling it like an unconventional, like, documentary, rock and roll music, whatever, because you think you're going to get one thing and you get something different. And my daughter's heavily involved in it. Basically, it's about this beautiful child that was born into the crazy rock world, and it's real and raw, and it's you know, all the Korn guys are in it. There's footage that has never been seen before, so it's just this, like, processing of this child being born to this rock world, and all the healing and the damage that does to me and the guys and my daughter and our kids go through stuff, but it's mainly about me and my daughter, but they're helping tell my story and everything, and then and how we healed from all the damage that was done, that I did to my kid, and my marriage was a wreck. And so there's awesome, there's funny points, there's serious and tearjerker moments, like crazy, because my daughter was so brave. You know, I got footage of her when she was a little kid, and just, you know, telling the story, we flash back to things, and but then we have more current footage where, like, she's dealing with stuff and the camera's rolling, and she's, you know, there's issues. Her mom was out of her life since she was 3 years old, so we're just dealing with all that. But it's really, it goes to a place you don't expect, and it's uplifting, and it's a really special film. And I don't think it's just for Korn fans, or you know, it's not. It's the story of Korn. It's the story. It's my story. It's my daughter's story. It's reconciliation, redemption. You know, and so I think we say, like, you know, all people in the family can. We've gotten feedback from people, and, like, even grandmas are like, "Oh my gosh, I was so touched." You know, so it's like, it's crazy, man, because we're all human. You know, doesn't matter if you're a rocker or whatever.
I was hoping that maybe the focus was around you and her, and from what I read of the overview from it, I'm like, wow, I'm hoping that's where it is. Do you feel like your daughter played a major role in saving your life when you
Oh my
changed?
gosh. She was the face of God for me.
That's what I was going to ask you.
It's
Like, when you're in a bad place, is it just me, or can you sometimes kind of see the face of God in a child?
Yeah, she's just,
know?
it's like purity, innocence, and love, you know? And that's what God is. Purity, innocence, and love. And he's all powerful too, but yeah, just this kid, you know, I'm like jacked up on methamphetamines. I'm taking pills. I'm alcoholic, and I come home from a tour, and, Daddy, you know, and she's just like, you know, she's like an angel. And so she gave me the will to want to fight for my life. And, you know, yeah. And then, you know, what's crazy is she led me out of the band, like, to look within, like you're saying, and see myself for, like, who am I? Who really am I? You know? Am I this rock star, or am I a true person that needs to figure stuff out? So she helped me do that, and I left the band, and I focused on her. And then, but when she turned into a teenager, she was like her favorite band was Blink-182. She wanted to marry Tom DeLonge. And so, and then she started getting into, like, Evanescence and, you know, Five Finger and all them. And so she was like, take me to rock concerts. And so that's when I started going. I went to these shows, and that's how I reconciled with the guys in Korn, because I didn't barely talk to them for 8 years. So I followed her back into that world. And so
she led you back, and we kind of owe her thanks for you being back in that band.
She led me away, and she led me back, you know? And so
yeah, what a great story.
I love that kid.
That's beautiful. How are we doing? 5 minutes? Okay.
She's almost 20 in July.
What's her name?
Janaea.
Did you guys have a question?
Thank you. Hi, I'm Jessica. Yep, and I was a winner on Wednesday night. I got to talk to Ted McKay. That was really cool. So you mentioned that your daughter was starting to get into rock concerts and stuff. So did you go to her with some of the concerts? Did you accompany her, chaperone her, kind of take her under your wing?
I wouldn't let her go by herself. Yeah.
No. Okay, good. That's what I was gonna say. Tell her kind of what to do, what not to do. Who
Definitely.
To stay with. Okay.
I went to some like high school musical concerts and the movie and all that stuff with her, but yeah, when the rock, I let her go to one by herself, and I don't know why I did that. It was a dumb decision, but she came out okay. But it was definitely unprotected, because I know what goes on there, you know. And so, but she's good now, you know. I got no choice. She's almost 20, so, but she's got a good head.
Anybody? You got a question? What's your name?
I'm Josh. I don't work here. I'm a fan. Since the first album.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah, brother.
Wow, you don't look
I'm
old
almost
enough.
40. I look young. So.
What the heck?
I'll be 40 this year, so I grew up with you. I remember driving around before cell phones, listening to your CDs. So.
What are those?
Before phones and all that good stuff. Anyways, I don't really have a question for you. As a believer, though, I do want to tell you that I appreciate you stating the name of Jesus in this crippled world, and it's a challenge. And the platform that you're blessed with in your life because of the success for music, I really admire and appreciate your stance, because God is cool and the name of Jesus is awesome, and it doesn't need to be shunned on, and we don't need to act like it's cliche or ridiculous, because like in your story with drugs and alcohol and all this other stuff, that's fun for a little while. But to get pulled out of it and have long-term success, you're doing the right thing, and I appreciate it. So God bless
that,
you, brother.
man. That means a lot. You know, what we do is, because of the Christians that we've seen over the years, we don't want nothing to do with Jesus, you know, because of that. But what we're really doing is we're denying ourselves, because he came as humanity, he died as humanity, and he's resurrected as humanity, and it's a real thing, man. And I always tell people, like, if it was real, if it's true, if God like took care of everything and he is the answer for everything being restored, would you want it? And they're like, well, yeah. I mean, I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
well, just ask him if it's real then, and he'll start to show you, because you'd be an idiot if you say, no, I don't want everything to be okay. You know, it's like, but yeah, so thank you for that. That means a lot, man.
How are we doing? 2 minutes? Sober ways to tackle anxiety. Do you have any recommendations out there for anyone, myself included, non-narcotic or holistic ways, meditative ways? Anxiety seems to be as widespread as the common cold from where I'm standing now, and something that I definitely suffer with now too. And I don't want to go to Xanax, and I know that's something that you have experience with. I don't want to any of that stuff, you know. What's your answer?
Stillness is really good. Stillness,
Good answer.
like body, soul, and spirit and mind, emotions. Just get still, get charged up, and you ask, because God is spirit. He's not, you know, he's not going to come and sit down next to us. He's spirit, and you just ask, you know, pour your spirit in me, get rid of this anxiety for me, but stillness is really good. Music is awesome, because I just, you know, also says God is love, and I feel like he walks on the notes into my soul sometimes, you know, and gives me peace.
That was
I
heavy.
feel it like through the notes, you know, and sometimes it's like instrumental and no words. Sometimes words are distraction to me, because it's like, you know, I won't get into that, but it's just like you just don't want to hear anything human, and the notes are just more divine to me, you know. So I'll listen to, like, there's a band called Hammock, Hammock, and so that it's a peace that surpasses all understanding will come, you know. And I get those quiet moments, I get strengthened up, and then I go and just my
Cigaros.
wild rock and roll self, you know.
Have you tried Cigaros from Iceland?
Yes. See,
You just drift away.
I think you know the answers. You know?
Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Let's give Brian a big hand.
Thank you, guys. Can I
yourselves
just
a big
say?
hand too?
Can I just say? So, anybody out there listening, if you could stop by the Loud Krazy Love screenings Saturday and Sunday, look it up online. It's all over my social media. Brian Head Welch, you know, BrianHeadWelch.net and Facebook.com/BrianHeadWelch and Twitter and all that stuff. So come on out.
What did I tell you guys? Some amazing stuff happens in this room, doesn't it? Thank you
cool.
again for being here, man.